This is Toe to Toe Boxing Talk with your man James, of course, and we're here. We are finally here. We got one of the biggest fights of the year, one of the biggest fights in the sport of boxing, period. We got Artur Beterbiev versus Dmitry Bivol. Now, I can't even stress to you guys how big and how important this fight is. It's for the light heavyweight supremacy of the world, undisputed. Now, you got two guys that are technically sound, but the way they get the job done is totally different. You have Dmitry Bivol, who's more efficient and has one of the best footworks in the game. And he's more of a slick counterpuncher. He's a master at gauging distance. Ask Canelo Alvarez. I mean, a lot of casual fans prior to the Canelo Alvarez fight didn't know who Bivol was. They saw Bivol. They're like, you know what, Canelo's going to walk right through him. I was one of the few people to pick Bivol to win the fight because I knew his background. I've seen him in the amateurs. I've seen him early on in his professional career. I've seen what this guy was capable of doing. And he truly dominated Canelo Alvarez. I mean, it was not even close. He introduced the world to Dmitry Bivol that night. And after that, shortly after, he dominated Gilberto Ramirez. Easy. I mean, this guy his boxing IQ is off the charts, man. And he's one of the best fighters in the world. And then on the other hand, you have Artur Beterbiev, who's a blue chip fighter. And his technical ability is very underrated. I mean, the guy can fight. The guy can box. But his power is unreal. Like, he's like a George Foreman. He's like an Ernie Shavers. He's like a Julian Jackson. His power is unreal. It's scary. It's scary. One of the hardest punching light heavyweights of all time, if not the hardest punching light heavyweight of all time. 20F tried and 20F falling flat on their face. Unreal. Scary. I've raved about him. I mean, he's one of the best as well. These guys have dominated and beaten everyone. And they're the last two standing. What makes this fight intriguing is that their wills. You have two guys with strong wills. Two guys that are willing to do anything to get the victory. Two guys that are willing to run through a brick wall to get the victory. And that's what makes this fight so intriguing. And I know early on in the year, I picked Beterbiev to win. I mean, you can see from my video during that time period. If anybody can beat Beterbiev, it would be Bivol. But I give the slightest to Beterbiev. His last three fights against Caleb Smith, Anthony Yard, Joe Smith Jr., he walked right through them. 20 fights, 20 wins, 20 knockouts. That says it all. I've raved about Beterbiev because I just thought that he was on a roll. On a consistent run, just running through people, man, just dominating everyone in his way. Like, it was just scary the way he was dominating everyone. But then, I thought about it, and what really changed my mind about this fight was the inactivity, for Beterbiev, man. I think, him suffering an injury, which postponed the June bout between him and Bivol, really, gave me cause to pause. I really thought that it was going to be a landslide. I really thought it was going to be a landslide victory for Beterbiev. But now, I just see Bivol winning. I see Bivol winning because, in boxing, it's a tricky thing in boxing where, if you're not active enough, the ring is going to expose you. You know, especially if you're going against another elite fighter like Dmitry Bivol, you're going to get exposed. You know, we don't know how the injury, affected Beterbiev. But I want to say this, man. Both fighters are tough. And they got to this point by doing something right. So it's a truly pick 'em fight, man. It's 50-50. You can't go wrong with either man. But if I'm a betting man, which I'm not, by the way, but if I was a betting man, I will bet that Dmitry Bivol will come out the victor later on today. Just because his skill set, he's been more active, and his like I said before, he's a master at gauging distance. And I think that's going to give Beterbiev fits. He's when you think you have him and you think you're in a range where you can hit him, you find out you're not, and then you get a hit back. That's frustrating, but man, it's going to be one hell of a fight. I got total respect for both guys. Both men are in my top 5 pound for pound list, but I just see it as, the first 4 or 5 rounds being close, and then after that, Bivol is going to run away with it, possibly stopping Beterbiev. See, a lot of people don't give Bivol credit for his punching power, but he's a deceptive puncher. Ask Canelo Alvarez. Once again, Canelo wasn't trying to walk through him. He was retrieving the majority of that fight because he knew he didn't like what was coming back. And I just see Bivol, pushing the pedal to the metal and stopping Beterbiev in the 10th round. I see him stopping him and truly dominating the fight, man. But I could be wrong, but that's just my prediction. I got Bivol, 10th round TKO against Beterbiev. Let's see what happens. But I am super excited that this fight is taking place. I can't wait. But if you guys like what you saw, please subscribe, like, and comment. Let me know what you guys want to see next. Until next time, this is Toe to Toe Boxing Talk with your man James, signing